Welcome back to another video from the Debate Room podcast. As you can tell by the title, this is our AFC East preview, rankings, and predictions for this season. Our last video was the NFC East. So now we're on the AFC East. Make sure you guys like the video, share the video, comment on the video comment on your video with the record prediction for your favorite team in this division because comments, likes, shares, all that helps us in the algorithm. Our schedule prediction TikToks and videos from the last video did pretty well, so we appreciate you guys for that. If you're coming over from TikTok and watching this video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel to follow us and follow us our content. Um, NFL season is rapidly approaching. At the end of this month, there will be some football, and then preseason is going to be kicking off in early August. So we're coming up in football here really soon. We're going to try to do two um, division previews a week, along with probably some basketball stuff. Basketball's already died down, but there's some stuff to talk about. But let's get into it. We're gonna talk about every single team in the division as we do in every division preview. We're gonna talk about their biggest headlines, some of the biggest questions surrounding each team, just generally talking about the team, and then we're gonna do the schedule predictions, and then we always have TikTok content at the end of the episode. So let's get into it. We'll start with the Bills. They won the division last year. They won the division for like the last 4 or 5 seasons. It's been Josh Allen in the Bills division ever since Tom Brady went to the Buccaneers. So, will this be the year that the Bills finally get over the hump? Because they have dominated this division, and they've been a consistent title threat, basically, for the last 5 or so seasons as Josh Allen has, came into his own. But every single year, it feels like, oh, this is going to be the year. This has to be the year for the Bills. They have a shot at winning the championship, and it never comes to fruition. They're always a good regular season team, and then we get into the playoffs, and then they somehow flame out, whether it is because of the defense, whether it is because coaching, and a lot less frequently, maybe it's because of Josh Allen. So, Q, I'm going to ask you first. You're the Josh Allen guy on the podcast. Will this be the year that the Bills finally get over the hump? And what will it take for the Bills to finally get over the hump and at least make it to a Super Bowl?
This year, I think it was probably their best chance to make it to the Super Bowl for the simple fact that although they've been like pretty much contenders all 5 years, they never ever have won the conference. They never had the chance to ensure that every playoff game comes through, I guess, Buffalo. That could possibly change this year because on paper they do have a very easy schedule. Like they could probably easily go win 12 games, and I think that's like puts you in the realm enough to like probably be a 1 seed. Chiefs might not win as much because the division got better and like O-line questions. Ravens still in a tough division. I think not worried about anybody out the AFC South. I think clearly they showed y'all last year, not y'all, but like the world, everybody was doubting them and things like that. That as long as you got Josh Allen, you're clearly a contender. I wouldn't call a lot of the playoff loss like I guess you could call them flameouts, but they're going up against the Chiefs. Every team has pretty much lost to them except for the Bengals at one time in overtime, which coincided with like a bad Patrick Mahomes half that we never really kind of seen. But yeah, defense, you've seen in the draft, pretty much every pick they had was towards the defense because that seems to usually be the problem come playoff time. Like they get a statistically top 10 defense in the regular season that come playoffs, that defense is not the same post wild card round. Because wild card round doesn't really matter because they're blowing out whoever they play in the wild card round. But as soon as they get to the divisional and or AFC championship game, it's the defense just like Swiss cheese and they get carved up. And Josh Allen has to put on a cape, does some magical things. Sometimes just doesn't come to fruition. 2021, clearly he did everything he could, and the defense could have held up for 13 seconds. Then you get last 2-minute drills, go down the field. Patrick Mahomes scored twice, 2 years in a row. Josh did have a bad playoff game against the Bengals. They also let up like 27 points like in 3 quarters. So they do have their bad string of luck. I think they might need a coaching change. That depends how bad they go out. Like they lose in the playoffs this year, depending on who. If they lose to the Chiefs again, I think Sean McDermott definitely gets fired. I think this is like the most pressure Josh Allen probably ever had. Just because, like I said, that schedule's easy. They look like 12, 13 wins, win the conference. This year, I think, like, if you got the number one seed, I think you have all the pressure in the world. Plus, like you say, lost to Patrick 4 times in a row. Yeah, 4 times in a row. Never went to the Super Bowl. Got all the money. MVP. Just signed a new contract. I think it's like the storybook for them to go to the Super Bowl this year.
Max, will this be the year that the Bills finally get over the hump? And do you agree that Sean McDermott is on the hot seat this year in terms of if they don't actually produce a Super Bowl appearance that the Bills may be looking to move on?
I would say, unfortunately, it kind of has to be. It has to be Sean McDermott on the hot seat because obviously it is not Josh Allen. Again, you can talk whatever, people can make up whatever they want about Josh Allen not being able to win it, whatever. Josh Allen, again, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson both get in these situations, and Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, I think they have a little more. Uh, Lamar Jackson has fallen short in the playoffs more than Josh Allen has, right? Lamar Jackson has more bad playoff games than Josh Allen has. Josh Allen does not necessarily play bad in these losses at all. He sometimes plays better than the other team's quarterback. I would agree with Q saying that the defense gets carved up, but I unfortunately think that what you looking at?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't think he ever played. I think he only ever played better than Patrick Mahomes one time. But
Okay,
then
well, it still counts for one.
I don't
Um,
necessarily agree with that.
I'm just saying, like, I think that when you look at the Ravens or you look at the Bills, like, again, we talk about it in the NBA, especially like what different teams measure their success with. And these two teams, if you're any other team, how they play every year, having MVP quarterbacks and getting to where they do is great. You'd be ecstatic to have that as your team. But the Bills, like, unfortunately, like their expectations are just not that anymore. Their expectations are to make it to a Super Bowl and to win a Super Bowl because they have Josh Allen there. Again, they got him under this big contract now. There's no point you should trade him or leave him or anything. So he's on the team for the foreseeable future. The big change that you'd have to make for a change of pace or a change of direction would be letting Sean McDermott go. So I think that in that case, yeah, he kind of has to be on the hot seat. Will he? I'm not sure if he gets let go. I think though, can I guarantee that this is going to be the year they make the Super Bowl? No. Again, they could be the number one seed and everything could go right. But again, you leave it to one fourth quarter drive where I presume they'll play the Chiefs. And again, that Ravens game, I'm not saying that catch, obviously the Mark Andrews thing, everyone talks about that, whatever. Like a lot more could happen the rest of that game. There are plays that could have gone right or wrong both ways. But it was a tight game nonetheless. Like it was a close game down to the wire. So like the Ravens are definitely on their level. Like the Chiefs are not the only team to be nervous of, but KC is the biggest obstacle in their way, and I just can't at this point pick them knowing that KC will still be there at this point with Patrick Mahomes with a similar receiving core and everything as it is. I think that I also agree with what Q said with the defense kind of being the question mark, obviously going forward. Just the fact that we've seen Josh Allen with question marks with the O line, with the receiving room, with the running backs, with whatever it is, and he makes do with it. He puts great seasons together. He's able to go out and win football games. He's able to go to AFC championships and win playoff games, and he makes the offense work because he is the offense. Like he is the engine that keeps the offense moving. So I really think that this defense, you need to put together one stellar season or at least one stellar playoff run to aid that because I think in a lot of these seasons, when you look back, this year obviously is an outlier, but like the Chiefs and the Bills are the top two teams. I think a lot of the times when the Bills make the Super Bowl, sorry, when the Chiefs make the Super Bowl, like I don't think I think the Buffalo would do the same or similar things in these Super Bowl games. Like Buffalo had Super Bowl winning teams, in my opinions, over the last couple of years. They just play the best team in the NFL. Um, so I think that again, I don't know if I can really trust them going forward. I'm thinking San Fran. I think they could definitely beat a
Well, nah,
San Fran.
they're doing San Fran. They're
Like
doing
that's
San
two.
Fran. They
That's
would
two
have did
right
the Rams.
there.
I don't know if they do that to maybe the first Eagles
I don't
team.
know. The Eagles kind of. I think the Eagles because again, the Eagles that Eagles game was tight. I think that maybe that's not it, but I
Was
think
the
the
San
San
Fran game
Francisco.
not tight?
Huh?
Was the San Fran game not close? Down to the wire? It went to overtime.
Yeah, I'm just. I think that Jalen Hurts actually played like elevated his game.
San Fran.
I don't think that Buffalo defense is scared of Brock Purdy or Jimmy G.
Oh, they're not.
So I think Jalen Hurts played better than far better than both those two quarterbacks are capable of playing in that Super Bowl.
I feel like this year is going to be the typical Bills year. We'll come into the season talking about how they don't have great weapons, stuff like that. But Josh Allen will, I think, carry them to a really good regular season record, a top 5 offense, because he's one of the best offensive players in league history. He'll be a MVP candidate again. The running game will be good again. The offensive line will be good again. And they'll win games in the regular season. They'll win the division. When it comes down to the playoffs, though, I don't think they have enough, honestly. I don't think it's an indictment on Josh Allen. I like their offensive coordinator, Joe Brady. I'm not the biggest fan of Sean McDermott, honestly, which is why I think he is on a hot seat this year. And if they come up short again, which I think they will, he should get fired. But every year we do this with the Bills, where it's like, okay, this is the year they get it done. This is the year they have this is the year they have a good enough roster to do it. And it's a possibility for sure, but I'm not predicting it. And I think it would go a lot like the last 4 or 5 seasons for the Bills, in my opinion. When I look at this defense, it obviously performed, I think overperformed last year, considering some of the injuries and the talent level as well on defense. Obviously, in the playoffs, especially in the second half of the Ravens game, they won that game. But against the Chiefs, they kind of folded or whatever. But I think Rasul Douglas, big loss in my opinion. It's not a big loss, Q?
He wasn't good. He was garbage last year. Like, he was one of the worst corners in the league last year.
One of the worst corners in the league?
He was legitimately one of the worst corners in the league last year. I knew he was going to do this. Stop lying.
What am I lying about?
Now, every year we do this. No. You literally weren't doing that last year.
Doing what?
Yeah, lied again. Rasul Douglas was a big loss. He was literally one of the worst corners in the league last year. Same thing last year. They lose a player that was bad, and now all of a sudden the player is a big.
Who did I say? Who did that say?
It was part of the Jets propaganda that you were all on.
You lose Diggs. You lose.
You were tweaking. You were tweaking on Q because you were nervous.
I'm gonna disagree with
players that lost last year, and then you're doing it. And now you're just doing it again.
I'm gonna disagree with Rasul Douglas being one of the worst corners in the league last year. I will. I mean, we can argue that specific point. After I finish,
I was gonna say, I'm sorry. There's no need to argue about Rasul Douglas for that long.
That's fine. But my whole point with this OQ is, even if you don't think Rasul Douglas is a big loss or whatever, I mean, I like Christian Benford a lot. I think he's one of the best corners in football. I do. Now, Tre'Davious White, though, on the other hand,
he's not there. He's literally, he might not be in the practice squad. Like, he's not like.
Who's their cornerback too?
Maxwell Harrison.
Maxwell Harrison may be the cornerback too, but they still have not Christian Benford, but the other dude, and then they drafted Maxwell Harrison. They got Dorian Porter.
Yeah, I think there's a question mark with that CB2 position.
It's understandable if you don't know the names, because you may not be familiar with the player. We could say that. You know what I'm saying? That's perfectly okay to say.
Do you think it's a question mark with their cornerback 2 position, or do you think that they're guaranteed good production and good play from that cornerback 2 position?
They literally have more talent in the cornerback room than they did last year. And they have somebody that can take away the ball. Whether Maxwell Harrison is going to be a great lockdown corner or not, but they've been missing turnover production at the cornerback position. They finally got it if Maxwell Harrison could get on the field, which most likely he will.
Okay, so he's a rookie. I mean, it's not like, obviously we know.
Rookies play well all the time.
That's what I'm saying. I was just about to say that. Rookies play well all the time in the NFL. It's not the NBA or nothing like that. But it is a lot to ask for him, I think, especially with some of the rosters, with some of the teams they are playing on the schedule. So I think that they have a question mark at their cornerback 2 position, specifically how well he's going to play, how well any of them are going to play alongside Benford. Also, the defensive line was a problem last year with generating pressure. They did sign Joey Bosa, but not only can he not stay on the field, he's good, but I think he's up and down. He's inconsistent.
But I think that's kind of a move I feel like that they don't look for the regular season. You're fine for the regular season. I feel like that is a playoff move.
We're not. We know the Bills gonna be good in the regular season. We know that.
That's what I'm saying. Like again, like I get what you're saying, up and down.
Saying is the move is specifically for if we could get some juice out of him in January.
You're relying on him for like again the contract you're paying him. I think is literally for a Chiefs game where you're hoping he can get 2 or 3 sacks because he's seen that Chiefs O line before and he's seen Pat Mahomes 12 times. Like I that's like personally like if he plays 6 games this year and he just plays well in that one game, like it's worth it. If he plays 3 games this year and plays well in that one game, it's worth it. Like that for me, that kind of move is like literally again, we know Joey Bosa is not super healthy. When he's good, he's good. He's not as good as he used to be though. Like I think that honestly it is like literally you're using that for extra juice come playoff time. You disagree? Do you disagree?
No, I mean that they literally said that's exactly what they were doing with them. They don't expect them to, they don't need them for the regular season. They only need them for the playoffs.
I think the defense will I think always be solid in the regular season, just because of the coach they have. I'm talking about again. This whole conversation is about the playoffs because the Bills' season comes down to the playoffs. We know they're going to win the division. We know they're going to be the best teams in the AFC.
You don't think they have enough?
I do.
Exactly what is missing. That's not enough when we could say the last drive came down to a drop. What more do you need after a drop pass?
What more do I need from? Because I think like diluting a football game to one play like that, which I know you don't do that. I'm just saying it's not what more do they need than drop pass. It's maybe a play before. Let's say they didn't have Joey Bosa, but they had Myles Garrett. He got a sack on Patrick Mahomes, and he forced a fumble. That's what I'm saying. Like they don't have enough on defensive line in terms of like rushing the passer and creating havoc, in my opinion.
And the thing is, they may not have had enough before, but the team that they lost to, specifically in the Chiefs, and when we do get to that division, we will talk about them. They themselves have not actually gotten better than they were last year. If anything, they stayed the same.
I think they'll be better. I think better than last year. I think the Chiefs will be better than last year. I don't think it'll be like markedly better than last year.
And we're banking on a rookie coming off a gruesome leg surgery for a lot of that. Anything else is pretty much non-existent because the only other additions is 2 running backs that's been injured.
You talking about Rasheed Rice?
He's not even going to be there for the first 6 games, most likely.
That don't really matter.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one. Like I said, the only real additions were 2 running backs that been hurt, pretty much injury prone, and a rookie left tackle that came off a gruesome leg injury. So we're going to play devil's advocate. We got to play devil's advocate.
I just think they're going to be better because I think their receiving core is going to be better with Rasheed Rice being healthy throughout the whole year. So I think their offense won't struggle as much as it did last year. That's why I think they'll be a better team next year. Their offensive line is obviously still an issue, and then they just traded Joe Thuney. So they're expecting a lot from rookie, like you said. But back to the Bills, though. I think Josh Allen can carry them far. I think the running game can really get them far. I like Joe Brady and his offensive play calling, how he's developed over last year and this year since he took over. But I still think it's fair to question the weapons that they have on this offensive roster. They got Joshua Palmer, who I think is a solid like QB. I mean, wide receiver 3. I like Josh Palmer. He's had some really good moments with Justin Herbert as like a safety blanket for him, especially when other players are injured. Shakir, I think, is a really good receiver. Probably like top 25, top 30. I don't know. I like Shakir. His production was really good last year. Maybe that's too high, but I think Shakir is a really good slot receiver for Josh Allen. Keon Coleman, not high on him at all. He didn't really do anything to like disprove me last year. So
yeah, the thing is that
you got to be healthy.
Lacks a lot of context because as the moment he started to hit his stride, he literally got hurt and missed 2.5 games. You know what I'm saying? So they shifted away. But neither here nor there. The real X factor in that wide receiver room is what if you could get anything out of Elijah Moore, because Elijah Moore probably the most talented receiver in that room based off like his skill set. Whether he can show it or not, that's up to Elijah
Well,
B.
they also use these 2 tight end sets, and like again, they have Kincaid and Dawson Knox. Dawson Knox has a big.
Kincaid, he has no. This is a contract year. He has to show up. He has to show something.
Dawson Knox, I can't lie. I don't remember when Dawson Knox fell off, but he fell off like off a cliff out of nowhere. So, huh?
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
But like, I just feel like I just never saw it happen. Like, I just saw one year he was good, the next year he just fell off. So you have a 2 tight end set. Like, they don't have many names that pop off the paper, but they have names that work with Josh. Like, I think they have guys who fit their scheme and work. So
I agree. I think they have good, not great talent on both sides of the ball, and they're lacking in a few spots, in a few key positions on both sides of the ball. And I don't think their roster is like good enough.
Yet, have they?
Ravens, good enough to beat the Chiefs. I think the Ravens roster improved this offseason as well. So I think that the Bills will be in the mix again. I think this is a do or die season for Sean McDermott, and I expect Josh Allen to have them as one of the best teams in the AFC again. But because of some of those concerns I listed, whether you agree with them or not, is my reasoning for being pretty confident that they won't get it done this year.
They didn't sign James Cook yet, correct?
No, they haven't, but he's gonna be back. I'll put this on.
He's at camp.
Yeah. Ray Davis season.
Please.
Yeah. I still really like the offensive line though. I like the offensive line. Let's move on. We just talked about make or break seasons. The Dolphins they've been a dangerous. Well, I'm not gonna say that. They haven't been dangerous. They've been
a dangerous regular season team.
Yeah, they've been a playoff caliber, like 8-win, 9-win, maybe 10-win team for a few years now. Tua signed that extension a few years ago. They obviously hired Mike McDaniel, and that situation has quickly went downhill from a few years ago. With Tua continuously getting hurt, Tyreek Hill seemingly regressed a little bit. The defense has only gotten worse. The offensive line has only gotten worse. The overall situation and their decision making from this team, I think, has been a bit questionable over the last few seasons. Max, is this a make or break year for Tua and Mike McDaniel?
Mike McDaniel. It was a make or break season like 2 years ago, I feel like. Like Mike McDaniel's been this hot coaching name when he first got in. He's this offensive guru and all this. And again, he gets a fun offensive team to work with. But I think he's shown that he hasn't done much to be this offensive head coach that everyone thinks he's going to be. He's not Sean McVay. He's not Kyle Shanahan. So he's really got to figure that out at some point in time, or they got to get rid of him. The issue is Tua. Like, it's not anything necessarily to his play. Like, Tua is a decent average quarterback in this league. Like, Tua is when he's good, he's a top half quarterback in this league. But the injuries, like literally, that's with this entire season. Unfortunately, now it's happened so much at this point in time that you kind of have to have that in your thought process, in your reasoning. Like it is something that like there's a good probability that Tua might miss a game or two here or there. So as far as this team, honestly, I forgot how, as far as stat wise, their defense ranked a lot better than I thought. I don't remember their defense being as good as far as points per game and yards per game, but they got rid of Jalen Ramsey. Obviously, you get Minkah Fitzpatrick. They were injured last year on the defensive line, but like there's nothing really on this team that they did this offseason to get me excited about this team. And when you look at the AFC, I'm not looking and seeing, again, you got a solid 5 teams who are going to make it over them. You got the Bills, you have the Chiefs, or the Chargers in that situation, because I think both will be solid. You have the Ravens. I think the Steelers could be up there. Like, I think there's a lot of teams where you're not picking the Bills over, you're not picking the Dolphins over them necessarily. But, like, they're in hell right now. They're at this 8-9 win team. They're locked in because of the cap, and they can't make many other moves, even though they have glaring issues. And, again, they've tried this same team back to back to back of trying to build a competent defense with the playmakers on the offensive side carrying a bulk of the load. But They have holes in the O-line. They try to address the receiver room, which I think is arguably their biggest plus. Like they got Westbrook Akine. Like you sign him, you get more pieces in the running back. Like I just don't understand what you're doing when again you have holes in the O line. You could still shore up the defense when injuries happen year in and year out. So is this a make or break year for Tua? I don't even know. Like I think again the injuries play such a big factor into it. I don't really know what you're seeing with that. Like it's again that's up for really like them to decide. But I think Mike McDaniel should already be out the door at this point in time. I don't think he's shown anything to stay as the head coach, and I think they got to switch something up at this point in time.
This is definitely a make or break year for the Dolphins. Like, if you don't make the playoffs this year, if you don't win a playoff game, I think you have to move on from Tua Tagovailoa and Mike McDaniel. They have not given you anything in this 3 or 4 year span to give you confidence in the direction of this franchise. I think they have needed to blow it up for about a year now. And their offseason moves were very, very uninspiring, to my opinion. This offensive line is still going to be bad. This defense looks awful. Like their secondary outside of Minka Fitzpatrick, I'm not very confident in. Their defense line, if they can stay healthy, can possibly do some damage. But this team is going to be what they always are, a somewhat exciting offense that I think will be a little bit less exciting this year in the regular season until they get ultimately figured out midway through the season because of Tua's weaknesses, because of Mike McDaniel's stubbornness and lack of creativeness in terms of diversifying his offensive system over the years. So I think the book has been out on his team for a few years now. The defense is not going to be good enough for them to actually compete in the AFC against some of these offenses that the teams have. They are stuck in mediocrity. They're stuck in mediocrity. Tua is a good quarterback, but he is clearly overpaid. Devin Achane can't stay healthy, and that's pretty much it. Tyreek Hill cannot stay out of trouble, and it looks like he may be regressing. Jalen Waddle cannot stay healthy, nor and he's kind of hit like a stopgap in his career as well. Because I think coming out, he was a great wide receiver prospect. His rookie year, he was a great. His first 2 years, he was really good. Then he got into some injuries, and obviously Tua hasn't been healthy to maximize him or Tyreek Hill. But I think this is a make or break year for the Dolphins. If not, I would move on from Mike McDaniel and Tua Tagovailoa. I think they should have probably been done that. I agree with you, Max. They just signed Darren Waller, who was on the couch a week ago, and he wasn't great production wise in on the Giants, although he didn't get really targeted, nor was his quarterback situation really good. Yeah, I don't know. And I thought Jonathan Smith was really good for them last year. So I just really don't know with this team. I really do know. It's a very easy evaluation. They're not going to be good enough to actually make noise in the AFC. They probably going to miss the playoffs, and then they will eventually tear it down, like they should have done a year ago, probably. That's my take on the Dolphins. Q, what are we thinking?
All right, look. My bad. He wasn't the worst corner in the league. He was the worst starting corner in the league because, obviously there's a bunch of corners in the league, got a bunch of, rotational guys. But of all the cornerbacks that started last year, he was the worst one. 59, Rasul Douglas, 59 PFF grade, 133rd out of 133 starting cornerbacks. He was garbage last year. So you don't have to disagree. Just take the facts.
PFF is law. We don't. I don't want to argue about Rasul Douglas. I don't want to argue.
Look, you could ask any. It's either you're going to disagree with everybody, or you're going to flip aside. But if you ask anybody to actually watch them games, Rasul Douglas was not good last year. That's the reason why he's not on the team. There's a reason why he's not on the team. There's a reason why Jordan Poyer and them weren't on the team, and so on and so forth. But everybody keep harping on these losses. Neither here nor there. Mike McDaniel will be getting fired at the end of the season. The Dolphins will not be good this year. In theory, they should have a good offense. They will not, because they will be getting blown out. So that offensive thing doesn't really matter. Offensive line, garbage. Worst cornerback room in the league. They traded their best cornerback to the Steelers Obviously, he wanted more money. They wasn't going to pay him. But you trade for Minka Fitzpatrick, who also needs more money. And I get it. You had a hole of safety, but now you have a massive hole at corner. The D line, if healthy, should be good because you drafted Kenny Grant, signed Jordan Phillips. Obviously, you have Jalen Phillips and what's the dude name? Bradley Chubb. If they're healthy, it should cause trouble. But if you get behind, those passers mean nothing. They're clearly at best the second best team in their division. I don't think they win more than 8 games. I don't think they make the playoffs. If they don't make the playoffs, Mike McDaniel has to get fired. You've been there for 4 years. You were supposed to unlock Tua. You kind of did that, but you also let you no playoff wins. You can't fault him for the injuries, but a bunch of things happened to a bunch of other coaches, and they still make do. Kevin Stefanski deals with quarterback injuries all the time, and he found a way to make it into the playoffs with Joe Flacco, who was not good. I know he won't come back player of the year and all that. He had one 350-yard game, but he also wasn't good. So it's possible to be done. He also has an issue with, changing, the play style and things like that to fit quarterbacks to actually help them win. But, you know what I'm saying? This team they're in a bad spot. They spent a lot of money to try and compete right now, and they just spent it on the wrong players. Trading for Tyreek Hill isn't the issue. But paying Tua like he's a top 5 quarterback is the issue. And that a lot of teams get into that where you pay these players way more than they're worth. It's just you crash and burn. You got to take your medicine. The Saints don't be the Saints. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to learn when to pivot. They haven't learned when to pivot. I think they will pivot after this year. Better late than never. You just got to find a suitor for Tua. I don't know who would be willing to trade for Tua when you have a decent quarterback draft coming up and a great quarterback draft coming up in 2 years. I don't think you should throw your eggs in the basket for Tua Tagovailoa. So that's where it becomes a little tricky because it's Tua and you're paying him $50 million, something like that. So yeah, they're probably stuck. They're probably not going to move on from Tua. Probably going to be the Dolphins, like how the Dolphins been the past 25 years.
I think we all are in agreement that the Dolphins are not on nothing this year. We'll get to it in their schedule prediction. I don't know which one is going to do it. Maybe Max. But we can move on to the Patriots because I think the Patriots have been one of the highest teams in terms of, everybody thinks they're going to take like a jump this year. They're going to be much better than they were last year. It's probably most likely because of the schedule, but also their off-season additions. What they did this offseason with people believe in Mike Vrabel a lot, as well as a coach, as a floor raiser. Will the Patriots be a team that takes a leap this season? I'm opening up to the floor.
I'll go. Because I actually do believe in this team, and a lot of it is based off the schedule. I would agree. I don't think this team is necessarily going to move mountains. I don't think this team is necessarily going to be actually competitive when you come to a Bills-Patriots game. Again, I think this team will be a fake team. I think their record will be better than this team actually is. But again, if you're looking at the schedule, they play, and you can agree to disagree, but the Raiders, the Dolphins, the Panthers, the Saints, the Titans, the Browns, the Jets, obviously twice, the Giants. These are all teams that I see. Again, they might be better than the Patriots, but they're in the same stratosphere. Like, again, I think the Raiders are a better team than the Patriots, but there's a chance the Patriots can win that game. Like, I'm not throwing it out of the question. So, I think that again. Do I think that the Raiders are better? Yes. Like I would take the Raiders in a game, but would I be shocked if the Patriots won? No, I would not be. I'll be honest. So especially with it being game one, it's literally game one. So it's at home versus the Raiders. What's up?
I said, why do you think the Raiders are better?
Why do I think the Raiders are better? I think they have right now their offense. I trust their offense more than I trust the Patriots offense. So again, if you're telling me, if you're guaranteeing me that it's going to be a 13-10 game, okay, I'll probably take the Patriots. But I think that Raiders offense is going to be better than the Patriots. But I'll be honest, I think Drake May has a good year this year. I think that he doesn't have great weapons with him, so I think marginally it'll be a better year. I don't think it'll still be a flashy year off the books. I think you're going to have to watch Patriots games to see that he's going through his progressions better. He's scrambling. He's getting out of the pocket. Like, he just looks better, though. I don't think he has the weapons necessarily to support a huge statistical year. But I think, like everyone thinks, Vrabel will put a good defense out. Again, they spent it in the draft this year. You spent an early pick on Travion, but you also got better on the defensive side for sure. And I think that Vrabel has shown that he can get the best out of his defense. So I think this team, especially with The Jets and the Dolphins, I think maybe even being worse than the Patriots or being in the same area, that's 4 chances. It's 4 decent wins or better chances to win more than you've had in the past couple of years. So I really do think that the Patriots, again, I don't necessarily think that they'll be like they might honestly, and this is going to sound crazy, they might at some point in time be in a playoff race as far as a wild card spot. Not necessarily that they're going to get it, but they could be one of those teams who's in the hunt on the Sunday Night Football graphic or whatever. But I don't think that their team will be necessarily as good. But as a Patriots fan, I think this would be a great year, a fun year, and I think you look forward to the future with some positivity.
Q, will the Patriots be taking a jump this year to be better? Well, can they compete for? Well, let's say
You compete for the seventh seed.
can they compete for a second in the division? The Patriots.
I think they definitely can compete for second in the division. I think they can compete for a playoff spot. Whether they make it into the playoffs or not is up in the air. I think there's a lot of teams that can win 10 games. Same thing with the NFC. I think 10 games, it may or may not get you in the playoff based off tiebreakers and records and things like that. I think they can win like 8 games though, and that's a big jump from what they won 4. Uh, I think they have one of the better cornerback duos in the league with Christian Gonzalez and obviously Carlton Davis. They added some pass rush help. They added some interior D-line help with Harold Landry and Milton Williams, who was playing great for the Eagles last year. You added some. You obviously picked Will Campbell, top 4 pick, pro ready, should start right away. You added Morgan Moses, who's a serviceable right tackle. They drafted Jared Wilson from Georgia, was a good center. At a decent amount of pieces, they get Stephon Diggs. Whether you think Stephon Diggs is a top 15, 20 receiver anymore or not is up in the air. I still think like fully healthy. He's still probably one of the better wide receivers, good route runner, good separation. Was on pace to have the same year he had in Buffalo. When people call it a down, he was going to have the same year as a second option because obviously, production is kind of like you can make that. He obviously he's coming off injury. They did draft Kyle Williams and Travion Henderson. I think are going to be featured player for them. Travion Henderson himself should play a lot. He's a 3-down back, could block well, so that also helps that bad O-line situation. Kyle Williams, I think, has a chance to break out. He's one of the better wide receivers. So I think they got some juice to them. And Drake Mays, this is his second year. Usually quarterbacks make that big jump second year. Whether it's enough to make the playoffs, like I said, I don't know. But I think they're going to surprise a lot of teams. 8, 9 wins, definitely. 10 is stretching it, but I think they should hover around that range.
I think they'll be improved. I don't know about how much. I don't think they'll necessarily be a good team next year. I like Carlton Davis and Christian Gonzalez as their cornerback and cornerback twos. And yes, Milton Williams on the Eagles was pretty good last year, and he's a big addition, which is why they paid him as much as they did this offseason. I think their weapons obviously are still a very big question mark. I wonder how big of an impact Will Campbell can have on this offensive line in his first year as a rookie. Stephon Diggs, I think, is still a good receiver. We got to see how he comes back from this injury and with all he had going on with this offseason. How focused he is on football. But I like Drake May. He definitely needs to cut down on the interceptions and turnover worthy plays. But he was a real threat last year in the running game. Has a really big arm. He just needs to improve his accuracy and improve his decision making in year 2. Travion Henderson was obviously one of the better running backs in the draft class. So they should have a better rushing game because they also added offensive linemen that are good run blockers as well. So the Patriots, I think, will be improved this year. Do I think they'll be a playoff team? No. I don't think they'll be like this year's Commanders and nothing like that. But they should definitely improve from what they were last year and get on the road to being a more respectable team like they were for the last 20 years. Mac Hollins as like a wide receiver too, it's kind of nasty. I'm not gonna lie.
Kyle Williams is wide receiver too.
What next?
I got one question. So do you obviously see Jaden Daniels, and Drake May for Drake May. But again, and I think we're in agreement, like Drake May going to this draft, like I think we all drafted him second, correct? After Caleb.
Yes.
You're taking Jaden Daniels over Drake May. Yes or no?
As of right now,
Yeah, today, sure.
So I guess my thought process though is, why would you not think that this team has a chance to be like the Commanders of last year? Again, winning 8, 9, 10 games because they have a better defense. They have comparable weapons. I think that the Commanders are
Conference,
better.
the division plays a huge part in that.
they're in a
But
better.
I think that middle pack of NFC teams is a lot tougher to sneak in than the middle pack of the AFC teams.
No,
I think that 7 seed in the AFC is open.
Max, hear me, Max.
Bro said no.
Don't even, don't even. We're not even gonna talk about their division. Chiefs,
Understand.
Chiefs,
Chiefs,
Chargers.
Bills, Ravens, Chargers.
Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, and if the Raiders,
You're not selling me on the Broncos right now. I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
the Broncos literally were a 10-win team last year. Obviously, they didn't beat a bunch of great quarterbacks, but they will have a top 5 defense, and they're gonna have the floor top 15 offense.
So keep going. That's 6 though.
Oh, so I only counted 3.
But I'm saying I think there are 6 teams that are stamped better.
That whole AFC West, the whole AFC West.
The Broncos are definitely better than them.
Texans. That's 5. Texans.
So you counted the Raiders in there too?
They're part of that middle pack of the AFC.
But
That
again,
will- that
you said the
situation-
same. You said the same thing when I was talking about teams out in the NFC. It is statistically impossible for all 4 of those teams to be in that conversation.
They all four of those teams can make the playoffs
Well, why? When I said that about the NFC West, you said that was insane.
because they have
NFC North.
I'm saying they have worse teams.
NFC North?
I don't think the Packers are better than the Chargers or the Broncos. I also don't think Minnesota's better than the Chargers or the Broncos. What?
Trust me, I understand where you're going to go with this. Like, I'm not saying you're crazy.
That's
I'm just saying, like,
4 teams. That's three playoff teams and one that's going to be fighting in the middle of the pack with the Patriots. So that's 4. All
Packers and
that's-
Chargers, I think, are pretty close. I think Packers and Chargers are going to be pretty close.
Sure, whatever. But that's already 5 teams, and that's not even the middle of the pack team. Though I'm just giving you the playoff
but
teams.
this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. The Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens, the Texans, the Chargers, and you can give me the Broncos. That leaves one spot open. So
and then now you got them fighting with the Steelers, who should be better than them. You got them fighting with the Jags, who have a schedule. You got to fight them with the Colts, who find a way to win 8 games every year.
And that's where, like, again, I'm looking at the NFC, and it's like, I think
they don't play none of those teams, so their tiebreakers don't matter.
But like realistically,
They're better than the Dolphins.
I'm saying these teams, like the NFC, again, the NFC, you got Detroit, you got Philly, you got Tampa, whoever you want, right? You pick your 4 division winners, right? But again, I think, and you can call me out, but the Bears, San Fran, Dallas, Atlanta, Seattle, Green Bay, Washington, Minnesota, those are all non-conference winning teams, and they're non-division winning teams as of last year. And again, could you throw Carolina off a good year? Sure. I didn't say Arizona. They got 8 wins still last year. Like, literally in the NFC, I'm not saying you could convince me, but like, there's a path, I think, for a decent amount of teams to be up there. So I think, and again, this is kind of a dumb conversation, a dumb argument. I just think that the NFC is more competitive come those 5, 6, 7 slots. Even though there are teams in the AFC that are competitive and it's going to be a tall road, I think that it's more likely that you can sneak in with the 7 seed in the AFC and the NFC.
But if you don't have no tie, if you look at their schedule, all their games that you think they're going to lose, they're going to lose. All the games that they're going to win don't mean nothing towards them in playoff seeding because they don't hold no tiebreakers. They don't get a chance to play the Texans. They don't get a chance to play. The only team they get to play that's in the middle of the pack is the Raiders, and that's week 1. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of people are going to pick the Raiders because it's week 1, and Geno's already the established quarterback with Pete Carroll. That if the Raiders win that, Patriots is not getting into the playoffs.
Same thing last year, though, with them playing the Bengals week 1. Everyone thought the Bengals were stamped. Everyone was high on the Bengals coming into the year. You got Joe Burrow. You got a rookie quarterback. Great. Well, 99% of the world's population was shocked when the Patriots beat the Bengals. So, like, I'm just saying, like, I think it's very much like
I thought they beat the Patriots. I just didn't think the Bengals were going to make the playoffs.
And that's what I'm saying. That's fine and dandy, but like again, in a week 1 matchup, you would have picked the Bengals to beat the Patriots at home.
Sure.
Like, so I just think again, I'm not going to pencil it in that the Raiders are going to beat them. But like I don't know.
Man, and I'm saying even if they beat the Raiders, all their other wins, when we do the schedule, you're gonna try to pick out the wins. You're gonna get to 8 wins and then realize that their wins don't correspond with them making the playoffs because there's other teams that will be winning more games than them. There's a division that could literally have 3 teams that win 10 games. On top of the Bills that are still going to win the division.
My thing though is
the Patriots have a chance to make the playoffs.
I'm just saying that the Patriots have a chance to be that Washington team. They have a chance to do what Washington did last year.
No, they don't.
Not in the AFC, bro. Okay. There's a reason why we only seen those teams in the NFC, those type of teams in the NFC. Or you just happen to be in the worst AFC conference, AFC South.
Or the Commanders also made the conference championship game too. So
I'm not saying that far. I'm gonna say make the playoffs. I'm not stamping that. I said that they will be in the hunt. I'm not saying they're going to do it. I'm just saying that with the schedule, there is a chance.
I don't think either one of their sides of the ball are going to be good enough to make a Commanders type of league too.
I think their defense will be. It'll be backpacked on Drake.
It will not be like a top 5 unit. Their defense might not be top 10. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it has a fighting chance for top 10 for sure.
Yeah, for sure, but it's not stamped at all. Like they obviously have two really good corners.
Again, I'm not betting my life on this. I'm simply saying that I think that there is like there's a pathway. There's a way that this is easily a Washington type run where they can go out and do it. But
I think your better argument is Mike Vrabel. But what does the Jets' future look like? We're moving on to the Jets. I really have a specific question for this. Can Justin Fields turn his career around on the Jets? Last year, Justin Fields, through 6 games, probably played his best football of his career, and then he still got benched for ancient Russell Wilson. But now he's on a new team. Do you guys think that he can turn his career around in New York?
Nah.
I will.
I think we know what Justin Fields is. I think this year is this is a big culture setting year for the Jets. They're changing everything around. They locked in their 2 best players on both sides of the ball. Well, Sauce isn't their best player. He's their best young player. So they got that done. They changed the philosophy. Obviously, Aaron Glenn has come in. He's given the keys. Gave Justin Fields some money. I guess he's, based on what they've seen, I guess last year he's a capable starter. And obviously the Steelers did say they wanted to bring him back, but the Jets was on the phone first. Maybe Justin Fields just slighted the Steelers because they benched him for Russell Wilson. Which, however, you feel about that. I think they're going to be a 5-6 win team. Have some wild plays. Justin Fields goes off for a 40-yard run. He knows how to feed Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson probably goes off for like 1,300 yards. Probably if he makes his first Pro Bowl, whatever, validate the contract and whatnot. But I think it's just a culture setting year. Obviously, they've been wasting their talented defense. It wasn't that good last year, but I would probably say that's due to like coaching and things like that. A whole lot of injury, like off the field things like that. But yeah, I think it's just a new regime. I think we got to start looking at the Jets as like another one of those up and coming teams. Like just when they get a real quarterback, their young quarterback, then we could talk about it. But if he pops off and shows us something, then sure, maybe sign him again. But I just don't think it's gonna happen. It's just too far into the career as of right now. Like those Sam Darnold, Geno Smith resurrections don't happen all the time. We can't just keep banking on those guys switching teams every other year. Always with a defensive head coach, defensive type team. It's never gonna fully unlock Justin Fields. So I think he's just stuck in the mud where he's at right now.
Max, you were a big believer in Justin Fields in his time during Chicago. I remember you arguing with me that they should not select Caleb Williams and trade the pick.
Again, when was that though? When was that?
When he had those a few magical weeks, I guess. I don't know.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you.
I
There are
thought he, he's
still
not better.
people in Chicago till this day who believe that Justin Fields should have been the pick and they should have gone with Maher.
And that you should never believe that. I
I
never
had
believed
a talk. I had a talk with one of my friends recently about this, where they say that they wish we still had Fields and Maher, but I just can't agree with that. I mean, I think I agree with Q on this 1,000%. I think we'll see a couple Justin Fields highlight reel plays and a couple lowlights, and I think that the Jets will end up at 6-11 or 7-10. Actually, not 7-10. I'll go 6-11. 6-11, maybe even 5-12. I think that they are back to where they were. You're picking in the top 10. Again, I think you get some good plays from Justin Fields, and I hope that he can. I hope the Jets do well this year. I was not a Jets believer. I thought the Jets were a sneaky shot at the 7 seed last year. I believe in our playoff predictions. I think I had them fight for that 7 spot, but definitely not a division winner. But I would like to see this Jets team succeed. I would like to see Justin Fields go out and do his thing. I hope he's got it in him, but I'm just not super confident in that right now. So again, short term, long term, short term, you're just trying to see what you got from the rest of your pieces. Long term, like you said, you're waiting for a quarterback to come around. Again, you got decent pieces in the works to support a good young quarterback. You want to kind of sure out that O line, but you have an X, you have Brees Hall, you have good defensive pieces. Like
Brees
if
Hall.
Aaron, I like Brees Hall as a running back. That's not crazy at all. And Braylon Allen's a solid running back too. So um, again, like I think Brees Hall and Braylon Allen, Garrett Wilson, whatever else they can do, it's a good situation for a rookie quarterback to come into. You got to shore up that O line. Again, the defense might come back to where it was. Hopefully, Aaron Glenn's the guy for him, and you can bring it into you can bring quarterback into a great situation. But this season, you're not punting, obviously, but I don't think your expectations can really be that high.
The New York Jets are in a gap year, probably a gap 2 seasons, honestly. Over the last 2 seasons, I was very high on this team. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers got injured in that first year, but before then, I was high on them. Him coming off injury, I thought that this team could be really good. This year, Aaron Rodgers has exited, and so has my fandom. I don't, I don't care about this team at all. But I think I think they're in like a gap year. I think Justin Fields is a bridge quarterback. He will sell some tickets because he will have some highlight reel plays. He will have a 50-yard touchdown, a 40-yard pass to Garrett Wilson for a touchdown that brings you back to the Ohio State days. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun year. They won't win a lot of games, but it'll be a fun year. Aaron Glenn will have his defense playing well. He'll have his defense making plays, and he'll have some he'll rouse them up and be that leader of men that he is. And it could possibly be a culture setting year in New York, but they won't be any good. I think the defense actually got worse. The only reason I think the defense can be good is because of Aaron Glenn. Well, obviously they have players, obviously, but I think Aaron Glenn last year showed you how he could maximize talent last year on the Lions because they dealt with so many injuries, and he still had them as a serviceable defense. But Brandon Stevens, he's awful.
And this is the second time I'm gonna do this. I'm sorry to correct my aforementioned statement. Rasul Douglas wasn't the worst starting quarterback. Brandon Stevens really was the worst starting quarterback in the league. Yo, he is horrible.
Oh, yeah.
I watched I'm watching Bills games and Ravens games. Brandon Stevens is garbage. Garbage Basuda. And I know I talked my issue on DJ Reed. DJ Reed is actually a competent corner. Brandon Stevens, it's like Kyrie Irving. Target him, you're gonna go for 250 yards. I promise you. Ask Jamal. That's over with.
Yeah. Brandon Stevens is not a good cornerback too for Sauce. I think Sauce still a top 5-6 corner in the league. He had a down year. I think DJ Reed is still pretty good in his own right. I think that once that front four got injured, when McDonald was banged up, Jermaine Johnson obviously got injured. It really compromised their defense as a whole. Obviously, I think Ulbrich, when he went to the head coach position, he couldn't give as much energy to the defense as he could previously. So I think all those factors had something to do with how their defense fell off last year. I do think they still have good pieces with Quentin Williams, with Jermaine Johnson, with Sauce Gardner. Not sure I like that many more people on their defense, honestly.
Quincy Williams was all pro.
Yeah,
Will McDonald, because Jermaine Johnson missed the season, I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
Will McDonald took his place and still had like.
No, he was pretty good. He also dealt with injuries for a few games too. So the offense is Garrett Wilson, is Brees Hall, is can Olufashinu blossom in his second year. Outside of that, it's not really like Elijah Vera Tucker. He can't stay on the floor. He can't stay on the field.
He drafted Membo to play right tackle.
Yeah, he did. Which I think it was. That's they need to address the offensive line, and it's getting better. I think going.
It should be. It should be.
It should be.
That's nonsense, though. I'm glad we ain't gotta do that whole. There you go.
Quarterback.
They ain't have a quarterback for 5 years. I tried to tell you.
Anyways, but yeah, the Jets. I think we all agreement they'll be a fun team. Potentially, they can be heading in the right direction in terms of culture. But this year they won't win many games, and that's a really good segue into their schedule prediction. I'll do the honors as the former honorary Jet fan. I will predict the schedule. One of you guys can give me the teams. Let's get this thing on the road. We already had an hour, and I'm getting tired. Let's go.
Jet schedule?
Yeah. You want me to read it? Read your account. What do you want? Q, you want to read your account?
I got the schedule up right now.
All right, account.
All right. Latif is about to predict the Jet schedule for 2025.
12-5. 12-5. Let's go. Let's do it.
Week 1 at home versus the Steelers.
Loss. Not gonna lie.
Week 2 at home versus the Bills.
Loss.
Week 3 on the road versus the Buccaneers.
Loss.
Week 4 on the road at the Dolphins.
Loss.
This got to be the win right here. Week 5 at home versus the Cowboys.
Loss. Oh, this is a terrible schedule. Oh, this is really bad.
Week 6 at home versus the Broncos.
Loss.
All right, we got to win right here. What's this? Week 7 at home versus the Panthers.
Not a guaranteed win. The Panthers are going to be a solid team. I believe in Bryce Young. I gotta look at the Panthers roster, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'll give them a W. They're at home. I'll give them.
Week 8 on the road versus the Bengals.
Loss.
Week 9 at home versus the Browns.
Win.
Wait, did you give that Panthers game a win or a loss? Sorry.
Win.
So they got them 2.
No, 1. Oh wait, no, Browns.
Panthers.
Browns are gonna be awful. They're gonna be ass. So, yeah.
Week 10 on the road versus the Patriots.
Loss.
Week 11 on the road versus the Ravens.
Loss.
Week 12 at home versus the Falcons.
I think the Falcons are better than them. They're going to be at home, so I'll give them a benefit of doubt. I'll give them a win. I think the Falcons will be better than them, but
where I'm at right now, week 13.
Keeping track or what's up?
They got 3 wins.
No, I'm saying,
bro.
Week 13. 3, 4, 5,
I was counting wins.
8, 9,
I believe it.
Week 13 at home versus the Jets. At home versus the Dolphins.
Win. I think they'll split with the Dolphins.
Week 14 on the road versus the Jaguars.
Loss.
Week 15 on the road versus the Saints.
Win. Saints gonna be awful.
Week 17 at home versus the Patriots.
Win.
I believe
Last
You
game
gotta
of the season on the road versus the Bills.
Loss.
I believe that's 6-11, correct? If my mind corrects me, you have the Panthers, you had the Browns, you had the Saints, you had splitting with the Dolphins, you had splitting with the Patriots,
Mhm.
and what was the last one?
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Yep, you're right, Atlanta.
Yeah, I think the Jets will go 6-11. Like we said, fun team, gonna be bad. Should be. I think they should tank and try to get a top pick, honestly, and they shouldn't even win 6 games, to be honest. Um, but maybe they don't want to set that culture with Aaron Glenn. And can Aaron Glenn even afford that in year one? I don't know. I don't think so. Probably not. You know how they do black quarterback. I mean black coaches. Um, let's move on to the Patriots schedule prediction. Max, this is your team for the year now.
Let's not say that. Let's not say that. And I'm going to preface this with I think there are a lot of 50-50 chances or wins that I'll pick that could be losses and vice versa.
Max, you said it last for the Vikings. Stand on it, Max. Stand on
This
it.
is I'm not. No. I was much more confident in the Vikings than I was about the Patriots this year.
Can't never get you to stand on nothing, bro. Anyway,
When I fully go through all the teams and think through it, I will pick the one team I'll die on this year.
all right. Max is going to predict the Patriots' schedule this year. He said they can have a Commanders type of jump this season and make the playoffs.
Honestly, they could. I did say they could. I don't think they will. That's good
Make
clickbait.
that the title too.
Huh?
I said make that the title
That's
too.
fine. I didn't say they will, but they could. Sure.
um,
About
Like,
they
week
could.
they could. I said they have a chance to. I did not say they will though.
he said
Awesome video.
week one. Wait,
Yep.
Yeah,
Week
we
one
won.
versus the Raiders.
how am I? Oh, okay. Week one at home versus the Raiders.
Give me a win.
You're nuts. Week two on the road at the Dolphins.
I'll say split. So give me a loss.
Week three at home versus the Steelers.
Loss.
Week four at home versus the Panthers.
50-50. I'll go with a win in this one.
Okay, week five at Buffalo.
Loss.
Week six at New Orleans.
50-50, but I'll go with a win in this one as well.
50-50 is nuts. I don't. This is a 50-50 game, Max. They shouldn't
The
be.
fact is in New Orleans. New Orleans has to win a game this year. They will not go 0-17.
I don't care. They're
They
not
won't
being.
go 0-17.
They're not being.
My point is, if that's a 50-50 game, there's no way to make the playoffs. I don't care where it is. The Saints are. Week 7 at Tennessee.
Loss.
Week 8.
Wait, hold up. You got them losing to the Titans?
I think the Titan. Yes, I think the Titan.
Like
I said, this
playoff.
team will not be perfect at all. This is why you're being clickbaity with this title. I never said this team would be perfect. I think this team has fighting chance a majority of these games. So if they roll the right way, they can make the playoffs. But I'm not saying they will.
How you been keeping count?
I got the record. We're 3-4.
3-4. Okay.
Yeah.
Week 8 at home versus the Browns.
Win.
Week 9 at home versus the Falcons.
I'm gonna give it to them. Win
But they lose to the Titans?
at home. That's my 50-50. That's my 50-50. They're win one, lose one. Split it.
Week 10 at Tampa
Tampa.
Bay.
Loss.
Week 11 at home versus the Jets.
My path to this working is they sweep the Jets this year. Give me a win.
Why would they do that? Week 12 after a bye week, I think. Nope, not after a bye week. Week 12 at Cincinnati.
I don't think they win it twice. I'll go loss.
Week 13 at home versus the Giants.
Win.
They have a bye week in week 14, and then they come back at home versus the Bills. Didn't they beat them? Wait, when did they? No, they didn't beat them last year. They almost did.
Back-to-back L's against the Bills and the Ravens, so the Bills are a loss.
Week 16 at the Ravens.
Loss.
Week 17 at the Jets.
Win.
And then week 18 with their playoff hopes on the line
I
at home.
gave the Dolphins the first one, so I'm giving them the second one. Win.
Okay, so what how many wins is that?
That's a record of 9-8. The Titans and the Falcons cannot be 50-50 games. You can't put the Falcons and the Titans in the same category as 50-50.
Like I said, I think that the Titans are in a similar area to. I think the Titans are a similar area to like the Titans, the Patriots, the Falcons. I think
No,
that
the Falcons aren't. The Falcons ain't in that area.
I'm saying on who's better than who. The Titans are the worst, I think. I think the Patriots are better than them, and I think the Falcons are better than them. And I'm saying I think that the Patriots, again, with a rookie quarterback and with what they got, so they could play low or they could play up high. And I think that, again, with the defense that as is, I think that Michael Penix being a second-year quarterback, not many reps, it could be a chance that you take advantage of him. I think that, again, teams just don't go 1-16, 0-17 very often. So I'm not getting the impression that, like, again, not every team that I'm going to have favored is going to necessarily win or lose the game. So same reason why the Giants had 2 or 3 wins. I don't think they'll honestly win some of those games, but I'm picking them because they got to win eventually. So maybe ties turn the right way and it happens. So, and if you want to switch that, you can get the Raiders win back and give me the Titans. Like you can trade it around. I think again, if I had to bet, I'd probably put their line. I would bet that they get 7 wins this year, 6 or 7. But
All right. That's it for the Patriots schedule prediction. We are now on to the Dolphins.
all right, I got you guys.
The Q on the Bills. So who wants to do the Dolphins?
You do the Dolphins because I just had them sweeping.
I could do it. It don't matter.
Okay, yeah, no, you did 2 last time. Like you do both. That's fine.
All right, cool. Max, you said.
Yep. What up?
I'll do the Bills. Saying the Bills.
I'll read them both off. That's fine.
No, I'll read them both.
Oh, never mind. You just said that.
Golf.
All right, Q. Whoa. All right, Q. Let's predict the Dolphins' schedule for the 2025-2026 NFL season. First up, they are playing in Indianapolis versus the Colts.
In Indy?
In Indy.
I know, our Colts gonna suck, bro. We gotta be honest.
I said the Dolphins, right? I just said the Dolphins in the intro, I thought, right? Okay.
Colts, they not gonna suck. This is a win.
Anthony Richardson, their quarterback, bro.
They're then at home versus New England.
Win.
Said that pretty confidently. They traveled to Buffalo to play the Bills.
Loss.
They are then at home versus the Jets.
At home versus the Jets. Win.
3-1.
In Carolina.
Win.
4-1. Oh my God. This is a hot team.
They host the Chargers.
Loss.
4-2.
At the Browns.
What month is it?
A crisp October Saturday. Or Sunday, sorry.
That's pretty hot.
Yeah. Dolphins win.
5-2. 5-2.
At the Falcons.
Loss.
Hosting the Ravens.
Loss.
Hosting the Bills.
5-4.
You should be counting.
I think it's 5-4. Yes, they just lost 2 in a row. They were 5-2. They lost 2 in a row.
You got a win versus the Colts, a win versus the Patriots, a win versus the Jets and the Panthers, a win versus the Browns.
Yeah, 5-4.
You have a loss to the Bills, a loss to the Chargers, lost to the Falcons, lost to the Ravens, lost to the Bills again.
Yep.
Now we're at
5-5.
You're hosting the Commanders.
Loss.
You're hosting the Saints.
Win.
At the Jets.
Loss.
At the Steelers.
Loss.
6-8.
Hosting the Bengals.
Loss.
6-9.
Hosting the Bucks.
Loss.
At New England.
Loss.
There we go. Okay, give me at least the split.
6-11.
That's not nuts.
I wouldn't say it's crazy.
Obviously, the Falcons. If I get any pushback, I'm gonna get pushback from the Falcons. loss.
7-10. 7-10.
Yeah, I'd get putbacks when the Falcons lost. I might get pushed back for the Jets loss. But that's about it. And even if I give them both those games, it's still 8-9. Like, yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up with the Bills, and then Max got his TikToks stuff. All right, Q. This is the year for the Bills. This is the year they get over the hump. And you want to say that, or you not say that? This is the 5th year in a row that the Bills will be making the Super Bowl. So let's predict their regular season schedule, Q. As the Bills fan on the podcast. All right, let me pull it up. Week 1 at home versus the Ravens.
This is a loss.
Wow, at home. Okay. Week 2 on the road versus the Jets.
Just a dub.
Week 3 at home versus the Dolphins.
Win.
Week 4 at home versus the Saints.
Win.
Week 5 at home versus the Patriots.
Win.
Week 6 on the road versus the Falcons.
Win.
They got the bye week, get a week off, and then they are at the Panthers. Don't say that too fast. Bryce Young. Week 9, yearly tradition, the Bills Super Bowl at Kansas City. Who wins?
Oh, at Kansas City?
Yes.
Win.
Why did you? Okay. Week 10 at the Dolphins.
Win.
They only had one loss to my knowledge, right?
Yes.
Week 11 at Tampa Bay.
Win.
I lied. Week 11
at home. It's at home versus Tampa Bay.
Week 11 at home versus Tampa Bay. My bad.
It's a W.
Week 12 at the Texans.
Loss.
Okay, they lost to them last year. Week 13 in Pittsburgh.
Win.
Week 14 at home versus the Bengals.
I think they could lose this game. I'll take them to win.
Week 15 at the Patriots.
Win.
Patriots almost beat them last year. Week 16 at Cleveland.
Win.
Week 17 in a rematch of last year at home versus the Eagles.
Rematch of last year?
They played last year. Yeah.
No. That was like 2 years ago, brother.
When they won in overtime, the Eagles won in overtime?
That was the year the Eagles went like 10-1 and then lost 6 straight games.
Oh, yeah, true.
In the playoffs and got killed. It's an L.
Week 18 at home versus the Jets.
W.
What, at 14-3?
I'm pretty sure 14-3, I believe. He said the Bengals one was a toss up, but he gave a loss to.
We lose to the Ravens. Well, they lose to the Ravens.
The Ravens,
Texans, Philly.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay. Yeah, that would basically put them in the driver's seat for probably first in the conference.
All right.
First ever.
Which one you want? Which trivia you want first?
Start.
Shoot it at me.
Yo.
Hey, pause. Oh my gosh. What was that?
I ain't gonna lie. That was
nuts.
Yo.
Yes,
All right. We have a start, bench, cut, trade. Obviously, there are 4 teams in this division. Not going to do a start, bench, cut. Each team gets representation in this start, bench, cut, trade. Obviously, you can decide what's better if you want to trade a duo or bench them. But this is going to be all-time receiving duos from AFC East teams. So, again, they could be on the team. A player could be retired. No one knows. But I picked 2 receivers, 2 all-time leading receivers from each team and put them in a duo. You guys got to give me a start, bench, cut, and trade. Sound good? Everyone good with that?
Sure.
We have your 4 duos. Randy Moss and Jacoby Myers for the Patriots. You have Tyreek Hill and Jarvis Landry for the Dolphins. Garrett Wilson and Keyshawn Johnson. Andre Reed and Stephon Diggs.
All right. I'm going to start Andre Reed and Stephon Diggs, I think.
You guys both do your own list. I want 2 different lists.
I didn't hear the names again. I know
All right.
Randy Moss and Jacoby Myers. Obviously, Randy Moss is a top 3 receiver ever.
And I'm gonna say you can take them. You can take them in their prime. It doesn't need to necessarily be like you could take them in their prime. But Andre Reed and Diggs, Garrett Wilson and Keyshawn Johnson, Tyreek Hill and Jarvis Landry, Randy Moss and Jacoby Myers.
Andre Reed and Stephon Diggs, like he's probably better than everyone. He's probably better than all the twos we mentioned for sure.
This is better than Andre Reed. Andre Reed is Hall of Famer. If it's me, I'm starting Randy and Jacoby.
Oh wait, I'm thinking about somebody else.
I'm starting Andre and Jacoby. I'm benching Reed and Diggs. I'm trading Hill and and Jarvis, and I'm cutting Keyshawn and Garrett Wilson.
No love for Keyshawn and Garrett.
I'm probably doing the same thing. I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking about somebody else instead of Andre Reed.
Grant, you was thinking about Andre Johnson.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, Randy. Andre was a great. He's a Hall of Famer. Randy Moss is the gap is so huge.
That's why I was gonna throw someone worse. I was gonna throw someone worse in there trying to even it out.
That's a solid number 2. Like if Randy Moss and Jacoby Myers played together, Jacoby Myers probably still have 1,200 yards.
I was gonna throw like Randy Moss and Chris Hogan or some shit and see if it would have changed it that much more.
But you gave all the other duos like better number 2s. Like you gave Jacoby Myers, but you could have gave him like Wes Welker. Like you could have gave him Antonio Brown. Like you know what I'm saying?
That's not, like there are a lot better players I could put out there. That's what I'm saying. But
yeah, I'll start Randy Moss and Jacoby Myers. I'll bench Andre Reed, Stephon Diggs. I'll trade Tyreek Hill and Jarvis Landry, and then I'll cut whatever the last duo was.
Garrett Wilson and Keyshawn Johnson.
Garrett Wilson and Keyshawn Johnson. Garrett Wilson might be better than Keyshawn Johnson. No troll.
Who?
Garrett Wilson might be better than Keyshawn Johnson, especially going forward. I feel like personally.
Sure.
Skill, yeah. Keyshawn Johnson was
crazy.
He was. Okay. I don't know. Maybe it's just how he talk about himself that made me lower him. He is not as good as what he talking about. He's like Paul Pierce.
All right, this is according to StatMuse, so don't get mad at me if stuff falls out. But since the year 2000, I need you guys to give me the top 10 passers in the AFC East. So I need the top 10 passing yards from quarterbacks in the AFC East since the year 2000.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's 1.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen's 2.
Since 2000?
Since 2000.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I was just about to say that.
Fitzpatrick is 3.
Okay, let me think.
Ryan Tannehill is 4.
5. Okay, let me go on cue. I got to think about the teams in the AFC East. So we got Bills, Dolphins. You already got Tannehill. You already got Josh Allen. You already got Tom Brady. 4 is
you have Brady, Allen, Fitzpatrick, and Tannehill.
Why am I blinking on the teams in this conference? Like we just didn't spend a whole hour on them. Okay, so Jets. Okay. Was Ryan Fitzpatrick for the Jets already?
He's for all 3. I mean, he played for the Dolphins, the Bills, and the Jets. Am I cutting you guys at strikes or no? Just let you guys go.
I don't really know. Like the early 2000s.
Is Josh Allen on the list? Tua on the list?
Tua's number 6.
Oh damn! This might be really. I don't think Mark Sanchez threw it enough.
That's a good guess. I'd say that.
Should have guessed it, Latif. Yeah, now you don't look smart. Mark Sanchez was 8.
Nah, I said it. Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor's 11. Just missed.
Damn. This conference is ass. This is the competition that Tom Brady had in his. Look at this shit, bro. Like such a fraud, bro.
To be fair, name me the quarterbacks that Patrick Mahomes faced that played for the Broncos and Raiders and Chargers.
Justin Herbert.
Oh yeah, Daryl, shut up.
By the way, number 13 in the AFC East since 2000. Number 13 is Peyton Manning from when there was still
Baltimore.
Huh?
in the
When
Colts
the
was.
Colts used to be in the East. That's what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
saying.
one of those, some shit like that.
Yeah.
Is Vinny Testa? Did Vinny Testa?
Vinny Testaverde is 10. Yes.
Yeah.
5 and 7 are gettable. I'm sorry.
Tom
9's bad.
Brady was fluky. I ain't gonna lie. Ain't no way.
9's bad. 9's bad. I'd say 5 and 7 are gettable.
Yeah, I'm tired now on it. So Tannehill.
I gotta think.
I don't know the early 2000 Dolphins quarterbacks, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
You want me to give you number 9?
No.
Hold on.
I'll just say we have a Dolphin, a Patriot, and a Jet.
Dolphin, Patriot, and Jet. Dolphin, Patriot, Jet.
The Patriot should be. I think the Patriot should be the second or third person you think of.
Dolphins, Patriots, Jets.
Drew
Drew Bledsoe. Yeah, Drew Bledsoe's up there.
Because of 2000. Okay, 2000. That's tough. I would.
Drew Bledsoe got 66 games played. Apparently
In
in
the
the 2000s. In the 2000s, yes, because he
He
played
played
for the
for the
Bills.
Bills.
He played
He
for the
played
Bills as well.
He played for the Bills. I'm tweaking.
Um,
Chad Pennington for the Jets.
Chad Pennington. Yes, Chad Pennington is number 5.
I forgot he played for the Bills. I'm like, huh? But yeah, where he did.
The number 9 is bad as we don't know him, or he's just like.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know him. He's a Dolphin.
Is it Doug Flutie?
Nope, I know Doug Flutie.
Yeah, I don't got the Dolphins. I don't know anyone outside of Ryan Tannehill.
He played for the Dolphins and the Jets.
How many is left?
Huh?
How many is left?
Just one.
And the team? Dolphins?
Dolphins and Jets.
Dolphins and Jets.
Mostly a Dolphin.
I don't know.
Last name start with what? G?
Starts with the F.
F?
Frank.
Jay Fielder. Jay Fielder was the correct answer. Jay
I don't-
Fielder. I didn't know that name either.
I would have been. We were there for hours.
Call me a casual.
All right, man. That's going to do it for our AFC East preview. If you like the content and like some of our takes, disagree with some of our takes, let us know in the comments. Let us know who you think will be the surprise team of this division. And follow us on our social media platforms up at the top of the screen. That's going to do it. We're going to be back with some more NFL videos here pretty soon in the next few days. Stay tuned for that. If you made this far, like, comment, share. It helps us in the algorithm. And we are out.